Hi, my name is Alex.
And I'm Kate, and in this video we're going to explain the truck we bought, why we bought it,
Go where the next adventure takes us.
and we're going to show you our tiny house architectural design.
Ooh, fancy.
Hope you enjoy!
Let's start with a quick overview of our truck. We recently bought it for 16,335 euros. And yes, it's a Scania. It was definitely not the best deal out there, but it ticked all our boxes and was available when we needed it, so we're happy. It's a Scania R360 to be more precise, with 13 years of age, a 13-liter engine, 360 horsepower and 2100 newton meters of torque. What does this mean in real life? Honestly, no clue. But we know it can legally carry 19 tons, way more than we'll ever need, so we are not worried about pushing it too hard. The engine has done just under 8,500,000 kilometers, and the internet says these engines can reach up to 1.5 million if well maintained, so it still has plenty of life left to give. It's also an automatic truck, one of our biggest requirements, since we are not professional drivers and we want to make our driving experience as simple as possible.
I enjoy this fella. You're going to put it here?
I think so.
Yeah. Do you want me to?
We already have to deal with its size, 10 meters by 2.5 meters, which has proven to be a problem on the small roads of Ireland, but it's something we can easily deal with by having some patience. See, it's easy. All you have to do is back up into a junction. It's a long haul cab, allowing us to have extra beds in the cab, which we intend to use for whenever we have any visits. There are a few aesthetic issues here and there.
But this is to be expected from a 13-year-old truck.
And as we said, they are ecstatic, so we'll probably deal with them in the best way we know how, by pretending they're not there. We are also going to need to take the truck to a shop and do regular maintenance, possibly even some new tires. This will most likely not be a ship visit, but we will deal with it when the time comes. The truck has a single axle in the rear, so we will have more room for storage boxes underneath. It also has an hydraulic tail lift, which is not something we were looking for, and we are planning on removing sometime in the future. Again, to get some extra space, but for now it has been super useful for moving building material into the truck and just as a step to ease access to the back. The biggest requirement we had for the truck was that it needed to be a swap body truck, specifically one able to carry a 7.8 meter long container, meaning that the truck has air suspension front and rear, and a wheelbase of at least 5.5 meters, and ours is 5.7. These requirements, combined with, from what we know, the truck sounds healthy, was enough for us to confidently-ish pull the trigger on this new adventure.
3.
If you saw our last video, if not you should, so you know what we had to go through to get this container. But if you did, you know that we bought the truck and the container separately. So this is the container. This is what we are gonna put on top of the truck. The container cost us 8,330 euros and we bought it directly from the manufacturer, sight unseen. It's not new, it's actually 12 years old, just a year younger than the truck, but it has been fully refurbished by the manufacturer. It still has some marks of its age, such as No.
Fix it, I don't know if it's... And even the connectors and stuff, for some reason. Feels like the entire...
It's just but it's still a solid foundation for our home. It was definitely more expensive than buying a regular second-hand container, which would have been between 3 and 5,000, but it gives us way more confidence to spend a truckload of money converting it into a home. The interior dimensions of the container are 7.66 meters in length by 2.47 meters wide and 2.7 meters in height. We will reduce these dimensions slightly when adding the insulation, but we will still have roughly 18 square meters to play with. That's right, a mansion on wheels. As you might have figured out by now, our goal is to turn this container into a full-time home and use it to travel the world. We don't have a fixed route or travel plan yet, but the idea is simple. Go where the next adventure takes us.
And we want to go there
No.
or there. Or maybe there and there and there and there. Oh, market.
We want to discover new cultures, meet people, and learn as we go. Not just about the world, but about ourselves too. And while doing that, we want to share our journey and our values with you through the camera, to our stories, and hopefully through meaningful conversations. For now, we only have one plan, which is to not have to renew the lease agreement on our house, which means moving out in 2 months. We know the truck will definitely not be finished by then, but we want to try and get as much done as possible, and then work on it while living in it. Sounds like a sound plan, doesn't it? We will now present you with the future plans for our home. Hope you enjoy. We have dedicated over a year on the layout of our home, and on this process we have reached the following plan. On the roof we will have 3000 watts of solar panels, hopefully enough to power a house, 2 main exhausting fans and 1 extra for the shower, and lastly a Starlink for some internet. The left wall will encompass our 2 large windows, also known as glass walls, since they will not open. On the front and right walls we will have the exterior accesses, being the front door, a cab access, and the door on the right, our main door. And lastly, below the container we will have as many toolboxes as possible, as well as an AC machine and, on the right side, the main components of our water system. This will be a bit of a gamble, as we want to create a recirculating water system, which means that the water we will use will go through a 4-stage filtration system and then go back into the water tank to be used again. We do not trust this as drinking water, so in our garage we will have 2 400-liter water tanks, one for this recirculating water and the other one for drinking water. Lastly, we will also have 2 15-liter electric water heaters, with the goal of having on-demand hot water, by having one heat up while we use the other one. In the garage we will also have our batteries and the entire electrical system, as well as 2 electric motorcycles that we plan to store on the door.
Nice.
On the interior, we will have a small entry with an extra door to prevent the cold from coming in and our cat from going out. We are then faced with our couch, which is meant to be a light poof, so we can move it around. The AC will be located on the front wall facing the entire container. Besides the entryway, we will have our IKEA kitchen, fitted with a microwave oven, a dishwasher, and a full-size house fridge. Lastly, on this left side interior wall, we will have our bathroom with a toilet and a shower. On the opposing wall, we will have a large painting / TV, a folding table, and 4 chairs that will be stored inside that table. Finishing up, on the furthest point from the entrance, we have a 2 by 1.4 meter bed, which is lifted on top of our closet. So, this was a quick overview of our plans for the future. We tried to make it brief and interesting. So, there may be a lot of things missing and questions that may have been left unanswered. If that is your case, feel free to ask them on the comments down below. And definitely don't forget to buckle up and just enjoy! Meow!